guys, it's Jess. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. Welcome back to the next episode of my Be a Boss series. It has been a while since I've done one of these, and I'm so excited because today's video, I am sharing how I plan and organize my life. I feel like there's a never-ending list of tasks, to-dos, and if I don't plan and organize my life, things just fall apart. So today, I am sharing all of my tips, my tricks, my how-tos on how I stay organized, how I plan my week, and how I remain sane through it all. A huge thank you to Later for sponsoring today's video. Later is an amazing app to help you plan and schedule and organize your Instagram content, whether you're just a person posting and you want a nice aesthetic feed, or if you're a business trying to make sales, Later is a great app to try using, and I'll be talking about them later and how I use them. But if you want to check them out, I'll have a link in the description box. And Later is free, but they do have a premium service. And if you guys want to take advantage of a free 1 month of their premium plan, their growth plan, you guys can use my code Jessica2020 to get that free 1 month. And lastly, if you guys are not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below to see more videos like this. And now, let's dive on in. First up, let's talk about my planner. So the planner I use is this one right here. It is the Happy Planner, and out of all of the planners I have tried, this one is by far my favorite. I love having something tangible to write on and to cross things off of. I use that in conjunction with a Google Calendar to sync up with my emails and meetings and anything in the digital space. Now, what I love about this planner so much is how customizable it is, and I actually did not know any of this until my friend Riley saw that I also had one, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you have a Happy Planner too? I love mine. What layout do you have?" And I was like, "What do you mean, what layout?" So it turns out that Happy Planner, the Happy Planner, I don't know if you put the in front of it, it's like the Home Depot, you just call it Home Depot. So I'm just gonna say Happy Planner. So Happy Planner, you can pick different layouts. I tried one other one from them, but I like this layout by far the best. Followed by the monthly calendar is the weekly breakdown, and each week has 7 columns for the days of the week. This is where I fill out my day-to-day tasks. So each night, the night before, I fill out the next day's tasks and priorities for the following day. On the last Sunday of each month, I fill out the next month's monthly calendar. I'll add in all of those birthdays, big things that are happening that month, certain dates, as well as my projected YouTube content. When I write in my projected YouTube content for the month, I actually don't write it directly onto the calendar. Instead, I write it on these rolls of tape that, instead of having the adhesiveness of typical Scotch tape, they are made out of Post-it notes. The reason I like using this for planning out my YouTube content is because sometimes things move, things change. I like having them on these Post-it notes to be able to move them as I go, and it makes it a lot better than scratching something out each time and rewriting it. The last thing I want to share with you guys about my planner that I do at the end of every month to help me stay organized and declutter is I actually take out that entire month when it finishes. It feels so like nice and clean and organized to me. All of the pages are meant to be taken out, moved, swapped around, and it's so cool because if you don't like something in a certain spot, like let's say you want your week view before the month view, you can just take out that month view page and put it at the end. You can take out pages, you can add pages, and I love it. Google Calendar is where all of my routines live, my big blocks of time that make sure I'm having balance and that there's time carved out for everything. So for example, I have time for work, I have time specifically for emails within that work period. There's time for filming, there's time for editing. Our grocery shopping time is mapped out. There's even a time for something we call drudges, which is essentially the errands and things that you don't want to do, like your bill paying sessions or going to the post office. And it is a rigid schedule, but it's what works best for us because we always have so many things going on. And if we don't have that rigid schedule, we get very off balance. This is what we introduced to have that balance in our life, and it has been the most wonderful thing. You don't at all have to have a super rigid schedule like this, but I want you guys to take away the idea of time blocking, carving out time for specific things and setting those boundaries to make sure that each area of your life or the things that have importance or priority to you are getting the time that they need and that they deserve. Now, moving into content creation. So content creation, being a content creator, a YouTuber, that is a huge part of life. So first up, let's talk about Instagram. So before with Instagram, I used to shoot every single day to post every single day, and it was the most stressful thing ever. I do not recommend. So now I just shoot 1 to 2 times a week, and I bulk shoot for the week. Sometimes I post every day, sometimes I post a couple times a week. Kind of just depends on what I shot, what I want to post, when I want to post, and any brand campaigns. So typically with brand campaigns, you have specific posting days and sometimes even the time of day you post. You want to make sure you post when the brand wants you to and that you're not late. This is where the sponsor of today's video comes in, Later. So Later is an organization app for your Instagram feed. Plan and organize your feed. You can schedule posts to go up. So let's say you're having a really busy day, but you need a post to go up at 11 a.m. and you're gonna be busy during then. Instead of having to take that break in the middle of you being busy and trying to make sure you remember to post it then, you can just schedule the post the night before and set it to go live at the time you need it to go live. The scheduling feature comes in so clutch. And in addition to this, you also can plan your feed in the app. So you can plan out what your feed is going to look like. You can figure out what posts are going to look good next to what posts. So all of your posts and your feed look aesthetically pleasing and cohesive. This is great not only for a personal use where you might just want a cool looking feed where everything is cohesive and aesthetically pleasing, but it's also great for businesses of any size. So for example, if you're selling products and you want to make sure your feed looks aesthetically pleasing and cohesive to attract more buyers, you can plan out what your feed is going to look like, rearrange things, move things, plan things around launches in your store. All your content lives in one spot, which makes it so easy for organization, especially if you have multiple people on your team. It saves time and just streamlines the entire process of posting content. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, Later is free, but they also have premium services, and you actually can take advantage of their 1 month free growth plan with my code Jessica2020 to use and take advantage of these premium services and get your Instagram account poppin' and everything looking great. So if you guys want to check out Later, there will be a link down below in the description box for you guys to check it out. So for YouTube, as I showed you guys in the planner section, I have these like sticky note days of what content will go live on that day. So at least 2 to 3 days before that video is supposed to go live, I start working on it. Ideally, I like to do 4 to 5 days so I have extra time to edit and film any pickups if need be. I have days for filming, days for editing, and I have different blocks for these things. So on the days that I film for the upcoming videos. Sometimes I'll film 2 to 3 videos in a day, sometimes just the one upcoming one, really depending on my schedule, my workload for that day. One question I get pretty frequently from you guys is how I plan and organize what content I'm going to post. So what I start off with is my video idea list. So I have an ongoing list of maybe there's probably like 150 ideas on there right now. And whenever I have an idea, I'll write it on there, I'll write it down. When I'm planning my content for the month on the last Sunday of the month prior, I will go through this list and I really try to do a balance of what I want to make, what you guys want to see, as well as a wild card video or 2 throughout the month. So between all of these things, I usually have a good amount of content to put onto the month, and just having this list of the comprehensive ideas really help with inspiring on what to create. I write it on my little post-it note sticky tape and I put it onto my calendar for my projected days. And the last thing I do with these little sticky notes is if something does get shifted around or dates change, I'll end up moving the sticky note onto the day I posted it. So when I do a reflection on the month that's passed, or if I want to look back, I can see when I posted, what I posted, and how frequently I posted that month. It's a really great visual way to kind of do an evaluation for myself and kind of just check in on how content creation went for that month. Now let's talk about business. So my business is YouTube. It's actually my brand as a whole, the Jessica Neistadt brand, which sounds like such a weird thing to talk about yourself in such a third person way. There's so many pieces to the brand, what I create, what I share, what I make, all of the things, the business side as well as the creative side. Something some of you guys may or may not know is that I actually have an assistant, Allegria. I've worked with her since February and she has been amazing. Before, when we would communicate the daily tasks and things and we'd send information, we would just do it all through text, and it kind of worked, but it also kind of didn't. We would always be losing things. We'd be like, oh, did you send this in a text or was it in an email? Trying to find dates or deadlines or pieces of content that were set through. And it just made it really difficult for workflow. But then we as a business, my husband and I, switched over to using a project management software, and it has been amazing. Everything lives all in one hub. You can communicate with all the people in your team. It is so much more organized and more efficient. All of the pieces of the business that need to live on somewhere and have a hub have a hug. The last section I want to talk to you guys about is meal planning, because this is something that has also been so helpful in planning out the meals of the week and then grocery shopping for those corresponding meals. I don't mean meal prepping, which is where you like make everything all in one day and then you have it for the week. That, I mean, is honestly goals, but I don't have my life together that much just yet. But meal planning, we do it on the Sunday before the week starts. On Sunday night, my husband and I, we sit down and we kind of lightly go over our schedules, or at least our projected schedules for the week, and we figure out what our busy days are and what our kind of more chill days are. So on the busier days, we like to just have more simple and easy meals. For example, something as simple as spaghetti. Sometimes it's a make your own dinner night where my husband and I, he makes his dinner whenever it works best with his schedule. I make my dinner, and sometimes we'll meet up and eat dinner together, but sometimes things are so busy that we kind of just do our own separate things and we're like, hey. And on the more empty and free nights, we'll have like a whole dinner, like enchiladas or chicken pot pie or turkey chili, or I'm trying to think of any of the meals I make. Those are for some reason the only ones coming to mind, but something that requires more prep and more cooking. So on that Sunday, we'll plan out the meals for the week from the upcoming Tuesday to the following Monday. The reason we have it like this is Tuesday is our grocery night where we go grocery shopping for the week, and we like Tuesdays because the grocery stores are pretty empty. And when we grocery shop, we write down all of the ingredients for the meals that we planned on Sunday, and we grocery shop for those items. That way we have less waste. We're not just like buying a bunch of stuff. Sunday night, we'll sit down and we'll just go through our go-to tried and true meals, the easy meals that we can just make on the fly or just by ourselves, our make your own kind of meals, and any new recipes we might want to try. I'll pull up my cookbooks and we'll go through together, and if we do want to try a new recipe that week, we'll go through and we'll pick out the recipe, and then we'll buy the ingredients on our grocery shopping night. And this gives us like a really good balance of working with our schedule, trying new things, making things that we know are good, work every time, and then having the times for when we just like want a lazy day or we're busy or whatever the case is. We have our make your own simple nights as well. And that's it for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing and hearing all of my tips and tricks and how the heck I stay organized and find balance throughout the week. It has definitely been a journey to figure out what works best for me. So take from this video what you can. And if you guys have any good tips or tricks for organizing, scheduling, and planning, make sure to share those down in the comment section because they will for sure help someone. Now moving on to the quote of the day segment. Today's quote says, "Don't give up because you had a bad day. Forgive yourself and do better tomorrow." That is something I want all of you guys to remember so much. The next time you are just having a day, you are going through it, it will get better tomorrow. Things always get better. So keep that in mind as we go into the week. A huge thank you to Later for sponsoring today's video. If you guys want to check them out, again, the link is down in the description box, and make sure you use that code Jessica2020 to get your free 1 month of the growth plan. Thank you guys again for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!